The night was unusually cold for early September, the rain beating relentlessly against the pavement and the surrounding foliage, creating an eerie symphony of sound that drowned out all other noises. The incident involving James Thompson had left a lingering unease in Rivertown, a small community where secrets were usually buried deep beneath the facade of familiarity. Weeks passed after James Thompson's tragic demise, but the town couldn't shake the feeling that something sinister lingered in the shadows. Clara Johnson, the diner waitress at the heart of the suspicions, found herself plagued by restless nights and haunting dreams. She couldn't rid herself of the image of James, stumbling blindly through the rain, bound and gagged. The red lipstick stain on the handkerchief found in his mouth haunted her thoughts, its meaning elusive, yet deeply unsettling. One particularly dreary evening, as Clara closed up the diner, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The streetlights flickered ominously, casting long shadows that seemed to dance and shift with a life of their own. She hurriedly locked the doors behind her and walked briskly toward her car, the familiar routine offering little comfort against the growing sense of dread. As she fumbled with her keys, a chill wind whispered through the alleyway beside the diner, carrying with it the faint echo of footsteps. Clara froze, her breath catching in her throat. She turned slowly, her heart pounding, half expecting to see someone lurking in the darkness. But the alley was empty, except for the garbage cans and the discarded newspapers swirling in the wind. Shaken but determined to dismiss her unease as mere nerves, Clara climbed into her car and started the engine. The drive home should have been routine, but each shadow seemed to stretch and contort, mocking her attempts to rationalize the events of the past weeks. The mystery of James Thompson's death weighed heavily on her mind, intertwined with her own fears and guilt. That night, Clara dreamt of a darkened room illuminated by flickering candlelight. In the center, James stood, his eyes covered by a blindfold, his mouth sealed shut with tape. Figures moved silently around him, their faces obscured by hooded cloaks. They chanted in a language she couldn't understand, their voices a chilling echo in the depths of her subconscious. Clara awoke in a cold sweat, gasping for air as if she had been holding her breath throughout the dream. The clock beside her bed read 3 a.m., the same hour James Thompson had stumbled onto the highway. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was being drawn into something beyond her comprehension, something dark and ancient that lurked just beneath the surface of Rivertown. Days turned into weeks, and the town's unease grew palpable. Whispers of rituals and dark magic permeated conversations at the diner and in the streets. Some claimed to have seen strange symbols etched into the trees near where James was found. Others swore they heard faint, otherworldly chants on stormy nights, carried on the wind from the direction of the old abandoned church on the outskirts of town. Clara found herself drawn to the church, its crumbling facade a testament to years of neglect and whispered legends. She ventured inside one stormy afternoon, the air heavy with the scent of damp earth and decay. The interior was a maze of broken pews and shattered stained glass windows, the remnants of a forgotten faith. In the center of the sanctuary, Clara found a weathered altar adorned with faded symbols and dried wax from long-extinguished candles. A chill wind swept through the broken windows, sending shivers down her spine. She traced her fingers over the symbols, her mind racing with half-formed thoughts and fragmented memories. Was this where James had been taken before his tragic end? As she stood in the abandoned church, a faint sound echoed through the darkness, a rhythmic chanting that seemed to emanate from deep within the earth itself. Clara's heart hammered in her chest as she realized she was not alone. Shadows danced along the walls, taking on twisted forms that seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. Suddenly, Clara heard footsteps behind her, soft yet unmistakable. She turned slowly, her breath catching in her throat as she confronted the hooded figures from her dreams. Their eyes gleamed with an otherworldly light, their faces hidden beneath the shadows of their hoods. They moved closer, their chanting growing louder and more urgent with each step. Clara stumbled backward, her mind reeling with fear and confusion. She tried to scream, but no sound escaped her lips. The figures advanced relentlessly, their presence suffocating her like a weight pressing down on her chest. Just as Clara felt herself slipping into unconsciousness, a voice cut through the darkness, a voice she recognized. "Clara! Clara, wake up!" She jolted awake, drenched in sweat and tangled in her bedsheets. Carl Peterson stood beside her, his face etched with concern and frustration. "You are having another nightmare," Carl said softly, his voice barely masking his own anxiety. "It's been months since James. You need to let go of this." But Clara couldn't shake the feeling that what she had witnessed in her dreams and in the abandoned church was more than just her imagination running wild. There was something ancient and malevolent stirring beneath the surface of Rivertown, something that had claimed James Thompson and threatened to ensnare anyone who dared to uncover its secrets. As the storm raged on outside, Clara knew that the horror that had befallen James was far from over, and until she confronted the truth lurking in the shadows, she would never find peace. Thus, the mystery of James Thompson's death remains unsolved, a dark chapter in Rivertown's history that continues to haunt its inhabitants to this day. For more stories, please subscribe. Stay safe out there. Until next time.